snap in and up and over. My grandson was in the nursery and we went to pick him up. And Grandpa Verlin had put his pants on the inside, the onesie on the outside, tried to snap it, wouldn't go. And this little bit about going to Texas, everything's bigger in Texas, so he'll be able to eat really well because of that.
Oh boy. The day that Verlin came home and said to me, "How would you like to move to New York?" my first thought was, well, Lord, he's lost his mind. That night I called the girl who'd been the maid of honor at my wedding and used to talk late at night, and I said, "You're never going to guess what my husband wants to do." But here we are. And God has a plan for all of us. He may shut a window, or a door rather, and open a window, just like for Mike. He looked and looked for a job, and I have felt, well, ever since he accepted this, I felt that God wants them there, and we're tagging along. But we're going to miss you all so much. You have become our family. You have stood with us through so many things. People who have been here for a long time, like John and Paula, the McCalls, who helped get us through the losing of our son, helped us enjoy and be joyous for a wedding not several years ago, which suddenly seems like yesterday. We've watched this church grow. Betty Downing's here today, and we watched this grow. Remember, Betty, the first Sunday we had 50 here, and we just thought it was absolutely marvelous. And the first Sunday we had a $500 offering, we just thought, this is great. And we watched this church grow, so many people here, so many who have left, and I'm just praying that, the people who are here have gone on to be good influence in the churches they're in. And we've lost some marvelous people. Sharon's father was an elder. I don't know, Sharon, whether I ought to tell the story, but I'm going to anyway. Oh, you know it is? We were interviewing Tom Lawson, who was going to be our second minister. And that night, we were all done. And so he was thanking everybody here for being so nice and, welcoming them. And his wife had been our church secretary at one time. And so as he closed, he said, her father's name was Virgil Brasington. And so Tom said, "I would really like to thank the two elders for bringing me here. I'd like to thank Virile and Virgin." I have never seen a man's face turn so red. And he told me later, he said, "I thought sure I'd lost the church." And I said to him, to encourage him, I said, "You've got it, because we can't afford to bring anybody else in." And he was here for 10 years, but we've lost some wonderful people who've gone to heaven. We've lost some who've gone on to serve in many churches. And we've gained some very many wonderful people. And for me personally, a lot of you come, and I've loved you dearly, but I'll tell you, I was never so glad to see somebody like Paula Pratt walk through this door, because I could finally go on vacation and not have to worry about the music. Remember the Sunday I taped the music while I was gone? Barton said, "We'll never do that again." So I was just so thankful when Paula came with her musical ability, and Monty, we've had a lot of fun. She and I have had a lot of fun at the piano and the organ. We've done some strange things. Fun things. So
what happened to the organ? I've never seen the organ.
It was sold, I don't know when we sold it when we got the first instrument, didn't we? Because it had the organ and the piano together, I think, and it was beginning to die out, I think. But we had the piano and the organ together for probably 20 years. before we got our first instrument. So I do remember, Karen may remember this, Sharon, the organ bench had a wooden seat, the piano had a cloth one, and one Sunday our power went out, and so I just slid from the organ to the piano. I was the only one here. Unfortunately, the preacher's daughter had waxed the piano, the organ bench. I just was so thankful that the piano and the organ bench weren't any farther apart, because there could have been an interesting development. So I informed her never do that again. So, thank you. Do you? He leaves this to me all the time now, so that's why you all think I'm such a blabbermouth. That's true. We were doing okay until we saw pictures of Tony. But if he would have lived, he wanted to come back here and serve in New York. He loved New York State. And he wanted to come back here and work with the ESEA and maybe eventually be the senior minister in his own home church. But God saw fit for him to come home early. Lynn Rue's mother, June, said to me, she said, well, June, she said, God wanted a new prayer warrior and another one, a good one. And God had a reason for that, just like he's got a reason for all of us being here today, for us moving here, for now us leaving. So all I can say is, y'all come and see us in Texas.